General quarters.
Hello and welcome. I was asked recently to do a match in in a carrier. I said no originally, but because I was just playing around and I saw that nobody was in rank queue, so I was like, why not? So I queued up in the tier 10 Japanese carrier, the Hakuryu, and immediately as I pressed the battle button, I got a match, and this is it. It's a 4 against 4. It's a Hakuryu, Iowa, Gearing and Udalai versus a Midway, Izumo, North Carolina and a Shimakaze. The reason why this match happened is that when you reach 5 minutes in queue, then the game tries to instantly give you a match with whatever is available. However, the problem is that carriers are exempt from that. That is, you need at least one other carrier in queue so that the mirror matchmaking can happen. So what happened is the enemy Midway was in queue for over 5 minutes, and then as a result, because I queued up, the game instantly found the match and it took whatever was available in the possible ships, and it gave us this weird 4 against 4 match. So the suggestion is, if you're a carrier and you're in queue, or actually any ship, if you're in queue and the queue timer goes over 5 minutes and you haven't found a match, please leave the queue and queue again, because that will prevent these kinds of matches from happening. Because if there's 2 carriers in queue, we'll get the match eventually anyway, so at least we'd get a proper one. Anyways, the Shimakaze is obviously the primary target because this is domination mode and she is the only DD on the enemy team, and I found her at A because she started capping. And, well, I'm gonna try torpedoing her here, and I got 2 torpedo hits immediately, which is incredible. I can't use my third torpedo bomber here because I don't think that will hit. Fortunately, I already got 3 hits on the Shimakaze and I've already done 16,500 damage. I'm going to use my fighters to intercept the enemy fighters and then try to strafe both of them. Hopefully the enemy carrier doesn't move the fighters away, and then I will use my last torpedo bomber squadron to try to torpedo the Shimakaze, who still has 1000 HP left. Maybe it'll hit, maybe it won't. I'll try to use my dive bombers as backup. By the way, that was a really successful strafe, killed 8 planes. Actually, I don't know if it was 8, I think it was. Anyways, I'm gonna try torpedoing the Shimakaze, and if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna use the dive bombers to follow up. And well, it seems the Shimakaze was able to slip through the cracks, as they say. But I'll try to follow up with my dive bombers. I'll try to just click on it because I don't want to really predict where the enemy goes. Oh, actually only 2 dive bombers were needed and I got the kill. I was actually not certain if I would get the kill because dive bombers, especially on Japanese carriers, are a little finicky. They sometimes don't want to give you hits. This puts us in the lead. I actually don't really have much doubt about us winning the game because there's far too few people in this match. Like, unless the enemy carrier is really good, I don't... Well, when I say really good, I mean just better than me. I don't really see them being able to win this because the only tier 10s are destroyers and carriers, so the other ships are pretty disadvantaged, which means that it's very much in my control, especially because there are so few players and it seems the enemies are not grouping up. So essentially I can just pick them as I choose. I'll try to pick off the battleships and then just try to go for the carrier. I mean, I don't really expect my team to be able to do all that much. I mean, they probably would if they were able to, but the enemies are so spread out that it's rather likely that they won't run into, well, all of them. I found the enemy Izumo, well, by accident really. She is going to try to cap C. Caps aren't really that important, they are mostly here for, well, experience at this point, because the game's not gonna end on points, because there aren't enough enemies for either side to push themselves far enough, and the game probably won't last long enough. But look at this! 3 planes shot down by the North Carolina before I actually dropped, and this is a damaged North Carolina, which means damaged anti-air batteries and stuff. 3 planes shot down before the drop. That's a lot. And it was similar on the dive bomber. So, I mean, anti-air is really powerful, because remember, that's a tier 8 battleship. I'm a tier 10 carrier. But really it has a lot to do with the peculiarities of the North Carolina. Anyways, the reason why I fight mostly enemy fighters instead of like the other planes like dive bombers and stuff is because the main threat to me are the fighters. Like, if I can lock down the fighters, I will be able to use my planes however I please against the enemies, which means that I can essentially kill them all. By the way, inside the Cyclone, carriers are pretty interesting, because if you're trying to do a torpedo bomber drop, it's actually pretty difficult, because it takes so long for you to actually... Oh my god, I can't believe I won that fight. Your planes are so fast, and you get spotted so close to the battleship, or whatever target you're going for, that you don't really have all that much time to maneuver before to know how you should be positioned. Anyways, I'm gonna lock this fighter and then just drop on the Izumo. I hope the Izumo was flooding or use damage control party so that he doesn't repair the dive bombers or fires immediately. That's why I actually wanted to pull one dive bomber group away, because it wasn't certain. By the way, that was 12 dive bomber hits out of 15. Actually, maybe even less, because there might have been one dive bomber lost. Anyways, the enemy fighters were taken care of, and I am out of ammunition, so obviously gonna cycle the planes. Enemies only have 2 ships left. I can't really imagine them winning this match at this point. Like, that Izumo is going to die for certain very, very soon, and I can't picture the Midway being able to win the game if she hasn't killed anything so far. It seems rather unlikely that she will be able to take out all... She probably would have to kill all 4 of us in time. And well, there goes their Izumo, and there's only the Midway left. Remember, guys, by the way, the Midway is capping D because, well, we can see that it's been capped. But yeah, remember guys, if you are in queue for over 5 minutes, please cancel queue and re-queue so that you don't get matches like this. Because it's not pleasant for pretty much anybody, except maybe for me in this case. Oh, and look, I spotted the Midway and I could immediately drop. Although this isn't the perfect drop. The enemy couldn't actually use their anti-air ability in time, and I actually got 4 torpedo bomber hits before they could do anything, because I simply spotted the carrier and immediately pressed drop. Also, if you read chat, then well, the thing is that the reason why a carrier player doesn't play to defend certain players is because, oh my god, that carrier was a bit further away than I expected, so I needed to drop like this. Because, well, all the planes died. The reason why I denied the request of the battleship, I think it was the battleship, is because you don't play to defend your allies, because this isn't a game about your allies. Like, think of a match of chess. You don't play with the focus of keeping all your pawns. You play with the focus on winning the game, and sometimes what you need to do is trade pawns. Which is pretty much what a carrier does if they use fighters to attack enemy fighters instead of the bomber class planes. Because if I attack fighters, I am trading my own friendly ship HP for enemy ship HP. The reason why I pretty much always make this decision is because it's very rare that an enemy carrier will be able to outdamage me. I mean, it just is that way. And again, I'm gonna lock the fighters and try to hit the midway. Unfortunately, the damage control, the anti-air ability is still in effect, so I will have to do a rather poor dive bombing, but it's okay. Oh! Did it stop? Oh my god. I think the anti-air ability just ran out. Damn. I should have waited a little bit longer. By the way, I keep all these dive bombers around because it seems the enemy carrier has one of the planes focused, so that allowed my single torpedo bomber squadron to drop. And that's why I'm gonna keep these planes around again while the other one drops, because if he doesn't switch focus fire targets, the torpedo bomber group is able to drop freely without really being shot, even though these are empty planes. And this is gonna be a decent hit. No, actually this might be 2 torpedo hits, maybe 3. It depends. But regardless, the game ends now. It was only 2. It's okay though. Think about it, this was a 4 against 4, and I did 153,000 damage in a carrier. Because actually in this kind of a match I am advantaged, because there aren't any allies for the enemies to defend themselves with, like, there is no clumping up of the group that gives them a lot of defense. And I got 2500 experience, while this Iowa actually got 2400. Even though she probably didn't deal all that much damage, but, she kept quite a bit and killed many planes. I didn't actually get all that many kills. But yeah, I killed the Shimakas outright, 56,000 to the Izuma, 43,000 to the Midway, and 36 to the North Carolina. These are the planes lost, and look, I only killed fighters. But I traded it for the damage. I did 153,000 damage. This is certainly much higher than the enemy. And I made 240,000 credits, but look at this, that's 80,000, 17,000, like, that's a cost of 164,000 damage. Credits. For simply taking out the ship. But yeah. I would like to thank my current Patreon subscribers again: Martin Wolf, Akatakan, Tab Extra, Daniel Paquin, Jacob Klink, Ultra Real, Sebo Imoso, and Florian Engelbrecht. Thank you very much for your continued support, and well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.